Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you're just seeing me for the first time, my name is Patrick Cynthia, and today we are diving into the common problem that most people face. Sometimes we try to create a new version of ourselves, but still, we can't deny the fact that our childhood experience make up the foundation of who we are. The way we express ourselves, how we react to certain things, our character, our behavior in general. Let's talk about love style. A person's love style is defined as a specific behavioral pattern on how they express and how they receive love. When I started dating my husband, I realized my love pattern was attention. Due to the fact that I was being sent off to a boarding school, I felt like my parents didn't give me so much attention. Not like they didn't give me attention, but I was a bit far away from them. I feel like that's why right now that I'm in a relationship, I crave for attention, and it's more like my love language. If someone loves me, I believe that you have to spend quality time with me. Yesterday, I was reading an article and I came across some interesting things that I really want to share with you guys. First of all, I found out that there are different love styles. First, we have the controller, we have the pleaser, we have the facilitator, the avoider, and the victim. Interesting personality types here. Well, I'm really hoping this video helps you to understand your love language better, because I feel like the sort of love we receive from our parents often determines how we express love and what our own interpretation of love is. Alright, so let's understand the meaning of these 5 love languages, love styles I just mentioned. Are you an avoider? Are you someone who doesn't like asking for help? Are you I can do it myself kind of person? Now, this is because most avoiders grew up in a less affectionate home. You know, the kind of home that value independency and self-reliance. Because they grew up being loved only based on performance. For example, their parents might only show them love when they take first in their class or when they win a trophy. As children, avoiders learn to take care of themselves starting from a very young age. And they put their feelings and needs on hold. They may seem cold and emotionless because they rely on logic rather than emotion. Now, if you're an avoider watching this video, in order for you to cultivate a long-lasting, healthy relationship and experience love at the same time, you need to accept that your feelings are valid and normal, and also learn how to open up genuinely and express your emotions. So moving on, we have the facilitator love style. Honestly, this facilitator love style, this is going to be like the first time I'm actually calming down to study about them. I always hear about facilitator love style, but I'm like, who are they? What kind of personality type is this? Guys, so I'm just addicting, and it's pronounced vacillator and not facilitator. I don't know why I kept on saying facilitator over there. I don't just know. The facilitator did not grow up around parents who showered them with love and attention. It was more like they grew up around parents who are unpredictable. One minute their parents are showing them love, the next minute they are nowhere to be found. Most times facilitators feel like their needs are not their parents' priority. You know, they may feel abandoned without consistent affection from their parents, and by the time their parents finally shows up to give that love, they might not want it. Now, as a facilitator gets into adulthood, they love the sign of a new relationship. They idealize being in love, but somehow they just want to be the first person to receive love first. And they also try to find consistent love because as kids they were deprived of it. And if they are not getting the love that they imagined or envisioned, they might start having doubts. And this is because they can be extremely sensitive. And people that are sensitive, you know what they say about them, they can detect any little thing. In order to experience love more as a facilitator, in my own opinion, I would say you need to get to know people more before committing to a relationship, so you don't just jump in and out of relationships. Now, the pleasers. Yes, the pleasers usually grow up in a very overprotective homes, and they usually have strict parents, and that's why you see whenever they do anything, they always make sure that they're in their best behavior, so they don't provoke a negative response from their parents or their partner. Like, they do everything to please you. They spend their time and energy comforting others, you know, just so that everyone can just be happy. I don't know, have you come across such person before? Because sometimes I think I'm the people pleaser. Sometimes I think that's my personality, like my love style. No, not my love style, like my personality. But I've worked on it, like then I used to find it so hard to say no to people, but right now I can say no to you and you can do nothing about it, because baby, it's my decision. But honestly, I'm just reflecting backwards now. Should I say university or secondary school, they're about someone wants something, they'll just say, okay, Cynthia will give it to us. They want this and they say, let's come to Cynthia. She will not say no, she will always give. I still don't understand. It's a good thing in a way, but when people find out that you don't know how to say no, they will use it. They will use it on you negatively. Because in this world we're living in today, you just need to be in control of your yes and your no. Because you cannot just be one-sided. You can't just say, okay, do this, yes, give me this, yes, take this, yes. Like, you see people that have this love style, they don't like problem at all. They are very uncomfortable with conflict. They deal with disagreements differently, even if you're at fault. If there is an argument happening right now, they'll just give in, or they'll just try to make up for it quickly, because they don't want problem. They don't want you to prolong it so that you don't get angry and everything will not be somehow. You just want everyone to be on a good pace with them. To avoid problem, they will not tell you how they feel. They will rather prefer to hide it and soak it in instead of being vocal about it. They might even lie so that you don't just, you won't give them issue, or you won't be confrontational with them. Now, as they mature into adulthood, they transfer their people pleasing to their relationships too, and they try to just somehow make everyone happy, to keep everyone happy. Like I told you guys, I used to be like a people pleaser. It wasn't my love style, but it was my personality trait. As of then, I had to work on myself when I realized that whatever you do, you do everything to make people happy, but there's still someone out there that will not be happy with what you're doing. You can't please everyone. Like, sometimes you just find yourself neglecting your own feelings and you're focusing on other people's needs and their own feelings. Like, in order to experience love out and a healthy relationship, the pleaser needs to validate their own emotions and set boundaries. I realized that people that love you, that genuinely love you, like your parents, your partner, or your friends that genuinely love you, they will still love you regardless, whether you say no or not, whether you agree with them or not. So do not displease yourself because of anyone. Don't hide your feelings. Don't bolt it up. Let it out. It's not like you're going to be a bad person or anything. I just feel like it's knowing when to say no and when to say yes. If it's not comfortable with you, say no. If it's comfortable with you, why not? Say yes. Moving on. Don't mind me. I've emphasized so much on this people pleasing love style because I can actually feel it. I can feel it in my bone. Now let's talk about the victim love style. The kids who grew up in this personality love style often grew up in a very chaotic home with either abusive or controlling parents. These kids learn to tolerate and accept what normal people can't even condone. When I was in the university, I used to have this there's this guy that lived just like, he was my neighbor, and he had this girlfriend who actually became my friend. She used to come visit. She practically lived with him, and this guy used to beat the hell out of this girl, and yet she still stayed in the relationship. The thing is, they actually love and care for each other, and a lot of times she comes to my room to cry, and most of that time I really don't know what to say to her. I don't want to like get involved or start asking what is the problem, because I always see them fight and she comes to cry. Then the next thing I advise her, the next thing, before you know, they are back together, and all I can do was try to console her. And it seemed more like after the whole beating, her love for him grew stronger. One time when the beating got out of hand, I really had like a deep conversation with her, and ever since then we became friends. We became close in a way that sometimes I do go to her family house with her. And there was this time I remember vividly. It was okay, never mind the details. There was this time my parents stay in Abuja and I schooled in Imo State University. So when it's holiday time, I normally hang around in school. When it's like a short holiday, maybe 1 week holiday or 2 days holiday, I just hang around school, or I go back to my boyfriend's house, who is now my husband today, or I go to my uncle's house. But this time around, I actually stayed over at her place for 2 days. So I spent a weekend in their family house, and these 2 days I actually spent in their house gave me a whole lot of insight on who she was and where she was coming from. And it actually made me understand that where we are coming from, our family background and orientation shapes us into becoming who we are today. I'm actually making a short film on childhood trauma, and when that film is out, I'm hoping that it gives you a whole lot of insight and you'll get to understand me when I talk about our childhood and how it shapes us into becoming who we are. So the victims, they have less self-esteem and confidence, and they usually struggle with anxiety and depression. So in order to deal with their angry, violent parents, victim children learn at a very young age to hide and stay quiet, because being fully present is painful for them. So they build an imaginary world in their head in order to just cope with their own reality. Getting to actually know the victim love style, I see how easy it is to actually fall in the hands of an abusive partner. To the world, he's abusive towards you, but to you, he's perfect. He's just too good. You always feel like it's always your fault and you deserve all the whole beating because he's trying to correct you. You keep on saying, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Even when he beats the hell out of you, when he smashes your head to the wall, you keep on saying, I'm sorry, because you think it's your fault. And day by day, all you do is just try to adapt and go with the whole flow of the whole toxic relationship thing going on. You are so used to the whole chaotic, stressful relationship that even when things start going fine, you start feeling uneasy and you start anticipating for the next drama. Honestly, in order for you to feel loved and appreciated and have a normal life and a healthy relationship, you just need to love yourself, like have self-love and be able to stand up for yourself. Now the last one, the controller. So the controllers, they also grew up in an abusive home, but instead of them to become the victim, they actually fight back. Growing up, they didn't have parents who can protect them the way they want, so they learned how to toughen up and take control of themselves at a very young age. They constantly feel the need to be in control at all times, even when it's not necessary. This is because they don't want to be vulnerable as they were when they were kids. So they vowed to never ever show weakness. Controllers use anger as a weapon to always be in charge. They don't like stepping out of their comfort zone because it always makes them feel weak and unprotected. They prefer to just solve their own problem on their own. They just have a way of doing things, like a pattern of doing things, just so that they can still remain in control. In order for a controller to actually have a long-lasting relationship, they just need to let go and trust others and also accept love. Thank you so much for sticking around. Please let me know in the comments what love style you identify with, and always remember to take care of yourself and your mental health. See you on my next video.